legacy that's long. That's the legend of the Armstrongs. Questions get answered, oh, you didn't know? Let's start the show.
I don't know.
I was looking something up and I came back.
There it was.
We were live. Hello. Welcome back to the show with Dogg and Casio, and you're listening to...
I'm not sure what we're doing anymore. Oh, it's still... Okay. Oh, you didn't know? Yes. Exclusive content at bagofjohnsons.com.
Exclusive content. How are you, Dog?
Man, I'm doing great. We just got done with that exclusive YTX, hashtag YTX.
Always puts us in a good mood.
It does always put me in a good mood. You know, I couldn't even be in a bad mood if I tried. But on the ride over, I started thinking, like, could I just have an off day? Not have a good time and just be, like, miserable? Like, and just go, like, yeah, I remember that. That big dude won the match. You know what I mean? Like,
a big dude.
Yeah, I choose not to be that way. I choose not to do that.
All right.
I'm gonna have a good time.
So that means you're gonna bring it.
Oh, I'm bringing it. I'm not sure.
The best of your ability.
It is.
But it
will be brought.
You're about to tell us everything you know about this topic.
What? Oh, wait. What are we talking about? What's the topic?
Crown Jewel 2018, which you did not attend.
Yeah, I got no idea. But look, it's going to be fun to walk down memory lane with you, with Dom, the producer, also with the viewing audience and the listening audience.
That's right. Let's talk about it.
Take you down memory lane.
I definitely watched it. Did you watch it?
I watched that show on my iPad because I had the network on there.
All right. Well, before we get into that, we got to get up into what we normally do, which is first start off
with breakfast. Oh,
what'd you have for breakfast today?
A gyro from Arby's.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, was it leftover?
No, it was fresh, and I didn't eat it till 2:00. So,
that was your first meal?
Yeah, and it probably wasn't a good idea, but I was babysitting a 2-year-old.
You didn't eat some of their
without
Cheerios
my wife
or something?
Well, he ate like granola bars and Cheerio. I think it was Fruit Loops, actually.
Nothing?
I just didn't. I just was busy with him, and then I had to come home, and I had to come here with you.
How are you alive?
I don't know.
If you told me tomorrow...
in good health, if that's what you mean.
If you told me tomorrow you can't eat until 2 p.m., I'm done, man.
Can I tell you something? I do that a lot. I know it's not healthy, but like I don't know. Sometimes I won't eat until like later than that, and it's weird. Like I'm not thinking about that. Like I'm doing other stuff or whatever. I don't know. It's weird. I've kind of lost my appetite as I got older.
Well, become peckish.
I've become peckish.
Okay, I get that. Dom, do we have a meme of the week? We didn't talk about that.
Meme of the week?
Hopefully, Dom did his job and has a meme waiting on us.
Here we go.
What you doing if Goldust pulls up to the rec center and it's a picture of a guy playing basketball and Goldust?
Oh, with Goldust
defending.
Just so happens to catch Dustin in like a awkward position.
Hey, not that I'm looking.
Yeah, he had a moose. He had a moose knuckle.
A large moose knuckle. I'm glad you noticed it too.
Like the size of an actual moose.
It looks like he's smuggling cantaloupe. 2 of them. What?
The guy from Game of Thrones.
Everything is bigger in Texas.
Can we please take it off my screen?
Zoom in on it. Can you zoom on?
I'm beating myself up. Hey, what?
Wow.
Yeah, the more I looked at that, the more I felt like less of a man. Chilito. You know what I'm saying? Chilito. So... I can't unsee it now. Hey... Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm seeing spots.
My man.
I'm sweating. I'm sweating and I ain't even on mushrooms, Midian.
I don't know if y'all have fun with this, but me and Road Dogg do.
Yeah, we do, and you're welcome to as well. Or, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you, dog.
What are you doing?
Go watch something else, listen to something else where they take themselves more seriously. I'll talk to you a little bit about wrestling in the back scenes, but it's from my perspective. It's definitely not the law, but it's pretty good in my mind. You know what I mean?
Hey, here's my favorite. A few weeks ago, we had one of our YouTube clips of you talking about the Tony Khan tweets, and it got thousands of views. I think 9,000 or 10,000 views.
Wow.
And my favorite, though, is that one guy said, I would watch, but his co-host is boring. And I thought, buddy, you can call me stupid, unfunny, tries too hard, ugly, looking like a bag of mud, whatever. The last thing I feel like we are is boring.
Yeah. Look, and I don't think Katz was boring either, and I'll say that till the end of my day. But some people didn't like him, and so I wonder if
he was commenting on that clip.
Oh, okay.
Of me and you talking.
Wow. Okay. Well, look, you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Call me anything. Boring? We're silly. Call me stupid.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you.
Unknowledgeable.
The guy obviously has a strange sense of humor.
One guy called me Mini Connor Thompson.
Oh.
Not Connor.
You know who Connor Thompson is, right? He ran across Europe with 3 legs.
With 3 legs?
I just made that up. I don't think I was.
Does that
thinking,
mean he's faster or slower than 2 legs?
Well,
what would you guess?
It's weird because one of the legs is like 6 inches shorter. So it's almost a.
So it never touches?
It's almost a. You know what I mean? It's just weird. But hey, fat kid equals scratch. You know what I mean? He can scoot.
He sounds like a horse galloping.
Yeah. Basically, he was a horse with 3 legs.
Okay.
It could be anything you want. It's made up. I made all this.
I went in like you were reading the Wikipedia. I'm like, how old was he? What year was he?
He was a Sagittarius.
Was he British?
Razor blades. Wait,
That's
not what we're supposed to say.
Australian, yeah.
Yeah, what was the other one?
What's up? Look, we missed this. We missed Yambag on our...
Yeah, beer cans.
On his...
Something's...
I think we're supposed to do that in a different show.
Oh, my
we're
bad.
doing it now.
My bad.
We're doing it now. Dom, we're doing it now. Yambag. If you say bacon in a British accent, it sounds like you're saying beer can in a Jamaican accent. Sound like you're already practicing.
I don't. Bacon. Yeah, because I don't know how to say bacon in a British accent.
Hello, pulpit.
I've got.
What you like your bacon?
Your bacon.
Your bacon.
Your bacon. Your bacon. You got.
What about your Jamaican beer can?
I don't have a bamboo clat punani island boy. I don't have a whole. I don't have a. Sorry. Not even my brrr's working right now.
Pass your beer can.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
You beer.
Well, I feel like it's more of us saying bacon in Jamaican.
It's
more
more
saying
of us
beer
saying
can.
Jamaican bacon. And
Yeah,
what do you do with Jamaican bacon? You jerk it. Let's move on, please.
I love jerk chicken.
I do too. And bacon.
Love.
And bacon.
Yeah, bacon.
Bacon.
Pass me your eggs and bacon.
I'll have a bacon.
Oh.
Boy. I'll have a bacon, boy.
Boy.
You American
Island
bamboo
boys.
clot. Bamboo clot punani.
We're the bacon boys.
American boy.
We're the bacon boys.
We're the fat boy. Like an island with fat in the hot tub, and I pissed in the hot tub. The boy.
You peed in this hot tub?
Well, in the one at Conrad's house.
Oh. Boy, that's the least.
Heck, everybody. I think it's filled with urine. It does wonders for your calluses on your feet. So my drill instructor told me.
Pee is the most sanitary thing that's been in that hot tub. It's actually a cleaning agent for that thing.
Ooh.
All right, here we go. We're going to get into it.
What? We're going to get into what?
Crown Jewel is up next for the WWE after Super Showdown, which you didn't attend. We talked about.
Super Showdown should take place in Ireland.
No, did you go over to Crown Jewel?
No, sir.
Okay.
I had just started.
You were just back at this time.
This.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have no idea what we're talking about. So.
Would you?
I like to pretend I know what happened in my life.
Would you quickly pull up your HR file and tell us your hire date, please?
No.
Okay. Just 10
but
days.
It was around this time, like fall maybe into winter. I don't know.
Okay.
No, it was fall because I was there for Halloween in 2018. I rhymed and I didn't mean to. I rhymed, I'll rip out your spleen too. I rhymed, I love you and you love me too. And I rhymed. Sorry, I was just working on some bars. And I wanted to, because we're going to Crown Jewel, I wanted to work on my accents.
Very nice.
Very nice. What that has to do with anything.
All right, let's get into it. Just 10 days before Roman Reigns is set to defend his title against Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel.
Oh, and they triple threat.
He announces he has leukemia. He had leukemia. It has relapsed, and he needed to step away. Dogg, when did you hear this was going to happen? How shocked were you then?
Yeah, I heard it when he said it. It was not something that everybody was in on, and so, I really learned about it when everybody learned about it. So, yeah, look, it's heartbreaking, and you go through so many emotions because, one, I know the dude personally, and kind of, even though he's so much better looking than me, we're kind of cut from the same cloth as far as wrestling lineage and stuff like that, and the where we live and everything, Pensacola. So I just feel like we were connected a little bit, and I think he feels that way too. So it was, for me personally, it was like, but for me, from a creative standpoint, I was just coming back, and just, it really threw a monkey wrench, and I hate to say it like that because wrestling doesn't matter compared to leukemia. Let me get that, make that perfectly clear. But there is still a business side. But you still have to think about, when he steps away, there's a void. What do we do? And you can, I'm one that goes, well, you just put it on him. And Hunter's always been the one, and Vince, I think, too, has been the one that thought about it. And thought, that's why they run the business. But thought about it and go, okay, well, we can do whatever we want to now. So we don't have to do an easy fix. We can do whatever we want to. And so, it breaks your heart. But then you got to get to work. You know what I mean? And see where you're gonna land creatively. And so, it's a little, it's sad to talk like that, but that's the business side of things that doesn't care about your feelings. You know what I mean? You have to keep that, make that bottom line.
Well, it landed on Brock versus Strowman, which would then happen at Crown Jewel. We'll get to that later for the vacant title. Also going on in the news at this time, the WWE World Cup was announced as taking place with 4 wrestlers from Raw and 4 from SmackDown. John Cena was the first man announced for the tournament, but he would be replaced by Bobby Lashley later on. There was a lot of controversy going into the event that the WWE had wrestlers pulling out due to concerns in Saudi Arabia. Were you aware of any of this, Dogg?
I was. But it was so rare that it was, I don't know how many people actually said, I don't feel comfortable going, but if they didn't feel comfortable going, they didn't have to go. And some of them didn't. And so, again, I don't know what that number was, but it wasn't, they didn't ask in droves. You know what I mean?
Rey Mysterio would make his return during the build-up. First of all, how much fun is it to see Rey and to be able to book him then and now still going along? That's incredible.
He's still, what is this? Half a decade ago, and now he's the United States champion.
Yeah,
and
he's
so
got a championship.
Yeah, it's so awesome. Well, for one thing, it was awesome to get Rey back because Rey, look, Eddie Guerrero was great, but Rey Mysterio might be and I don't really consider Eddie a small guy. You know what I mean? Like Eddie was a good sized dude compared to Rey. Rey's probably the best little guy in the history of the industry. You know what I mean? Like it's to me, and again, I always say these things and I say it with limited knowledge. I don't know everybody in the business. I didn't work with everybody in the business. I didn't work 40 years ago. I've only worked 20 years ago. And so in my experience, I never met nobody as electric and just attractive on every level as Rey Mysterio. You know what I mean? Like that's super cool, and super cool to me that he's doing it now, and his son is. Look, we book his son just like it's just a heel star we would on the main roster. You know what I mean? And that's so cool to see both of them in playing major roles in the product right now.
He would make his return officially at SmackDown 1000.
Yes.
Think about that number. What an achievement that is for a television show,
Holy
much less a wrestling product.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, it's just like Raw and before it. SmackDown
Incredible.
1000. Yeah, it's incredible. And I don't know. It just goes to show the longevity and the power that this company has, and the product offers such that people bigger and bolder are coming and saying, hey, we'd like to buy your product and we want to represent your product. You know what I mean? It just went down like that. So super cool to be involved in a company that presses forward and continues to do so.
SmackDown 1000 would feature Stephanie, Shane, and Mr. McMahon, of course, taking part of a promo of Truth TV with R-Truth and Carmella. Vince would say no one wants to hear them talk, but they want to be entertained, and he would order a dance break.
Yes.
This is kind of Vince at his finest, isn't it?
Yes. Well, it's totally me at my finest, but he bought it, so we do. But it's.
Was that you?
It's a great. No, well, so I was in on a lot of that. I won't say it's me because, man, there's so much collaboration in a writer's room and in a booking room even. You know what I mean? You write the show and then you get up there and you start figuring out the physicality and all that. And sometimes it changes, sometimes it doesn't. So, but you never can go, oh, that was well, I guess you could if you were an idiot. But it wasn't my idea. But I was in on a lot of that, especially the R-Truth dance break. Like I just thought that was. To me, that was right up my alley. It's entertaining. It's nonsensical. People, I'm sure, wrestling purists hate it.
So it was you.
I don't care.
All right. No, it was super fun. I mean,
it was fun.
Vince not taking himself seriously,
Yes.
being ready to go. It's just amazing. There would also be an evolution.
I just found out my keys are in my pocket.
That's not good for you.
No.
That might be why you have a crick in your neck.
I think it punctured something. I think.
All right, let's take a break from telling you about Crown Jewel and tell you about something else. You need to stop sending money to big insurance companies that profit off of not paying your bills. Did you know that 48 million claims on Obamacare last year were denied? That's 1/5 of claims that are going to get rejected. Dog, do you want to take that chance?
Man, health insurance sucks.
Yeah.
Man, it's expensive, it's confusing, and I don't even know what else to say because I'm so frustrated.
Boom, it's frustrating. That's it, buddy.
That's what I should have said then.
There's a better way. Welcome to the alternative. Crowd Health was created.
Wait, did you say Crowd Health?
Crowd, like all of us together, the Oh You Didn't Know family, Crowd. Crowd Health was created to get rid of the headaches of health insurance. How about this, Dog? For $175 for an individual or $575 for a family of 4 or more, you'll get access to a community of people who are willing to help out in the event of an emergency. Yep. You also get telemedicine visits, discounted prescriptions, and more. All this without doctors' networks getting in the way.
And so truth be told, that is problematic sometimes. Oh, your doctor's not in our...
Yeah, and you go, why aren't all doctors in here?
What do you mean my doctor's not in there? And so that's part of the confusing and the frustrating part.
Well, let Crowd Health help with your healthcare needs. You can get started today for just $99 a month for the first 3 months when you use the code
Wrestle.
WRESTLE.
You thought I was going to say something else. No, Wrestle. Oh, now I forgot how to spell it. You spell it, Casio.
WRESTLE, Wrestle. That's going to get the health care you deserve. Crowd Health is not insurance. Learn more at joincrowdhealth.com.
Yeah.
That's joincrowdhealth.com. Use promo code
Wrestle.
to get started today.
I want to spell it again. WRESTLE. Wrestle.
Boom.
Hey, this is that's the promo code, but this is community in a nutshell right here. So keep talking. I'm sorry.
Taking care of your neighbors and your brothers.
Yep.
Is what this is all about. That's joincrowdhealth.com. Use promo code WRESTLE. Get started today for just $99 per month for the first 3 months. And we want to thank Crowd Health for sponsoring Oh You Didn't Know.
Thank you, Crowd Health.
There would also be an Evolution reunion with Randy Orton, Ric Flair, Triple H, and the man returning to the WWE, Batista. This would eventually lead to Hunter and Batista coming together for WrestleMania the next year. But how big of a deal was it to have all four of these, Titans in the ring one more time?
They are. I mean, they really are. I'd love to get them in there one more time, because it feels like they're even bigger Titans today.
Isn't that crazy to say?
Yeah, it is, but that's just the truth of it. So yeah, look, it's anytime you can get those four together, it's awesome. We also knew it was going to Batista and Hunter at some point. Didn't exactly know when the date was, but they might have. So yeah, we were excited to have him coming aboard. And look, Orton, I can't wait for him to get back, because he's good TV, man. He's the kind of wrestling I like to watch.
The Cutting Edge would take place on this show. The Edge talking to Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair, discussing Edge at this point. We've kind of done that to death. But how much of him being involved in this segment helped Becky and Charlotte continue to move their program forward?
100%. Like, it was, to me, it was like the perfect platform for these two guys to lay it out there. Because look, when you can get somebody, especially when you're writing creative and it's weekly television, episodic television, and you're writing and you got to get somewhere, and you got 8 weeks or 6 weeks or whatever, like, okay, what are we going to do here? And having an in-ring promo is awesome, but it feels like if you don't have somebody standing between them, they got to punch each other. So is it a Miz TV? Is it a, whatever? We ended up going with, I think it was called Ledge TV.
The Cutting Edge.
Oh, the Cutting Ledge. Yeah, the Cutting Ledge. And so we went with that, but it's perfect. It's perfect for a guy like him, who has literally been in the ring and been in title matches and been in the champion and been in that picture, to sit from a position of authority, because he's been there where they're going and what they're doing. And so it was cool to have him mitigate the two women. And yeah, it was very easy. And when it came around like a possibility, it was like, oh yeah, this is a good segment to push their story another week. It goes well. I wanted Ledge to spear them all, but they said no.
The Bar would win the tag team titles from the New Day when Big Show would come out and help them get the victory. How good were the Bar, and what did you think of putting the show on with them as a heater?
I loved it. I did love it, and I think this was one of those times. Everybody always says, "Oh, Big Show, he went back and forth so many times," and blah blah blah. I mean, you gotta stop with all that bull crap and think about the human, the wrestler, the actor, the all of the above that Paul White is. You know what I mean? Like, what he's done in this business has never been done by a giant before, and may never again. Like, I've seen him drop kick people. You know what I mean? I've seen him do things that a man his size should not be able to do. He worked in a way that made you forget he was 7 foot tall and 400 pounds. You know what I mean? And that's where I think a lot of people are on Paul White today is, oh, he just turned heel and babyface so many times, his character, blah, blah, blah. Let's just talk about the dude and his life and the longevity he's had in this business. And I don't know, man. To me, like he's above nitpicking in wrestling with just his body of work.
I've also...
And we weren't nitpicking him here. I just said that's the current state. I think I heard a lot about Paul White, but I loved putting him with the Bar. The Bar was great. The Bar was big, tough dudes anyway, and then you put the Big Show with them. Now they're the Big Bar, you know what I mean? And so it's cool. I loved it.
Ray would make his return by defeating Shinsuke. Let me ask you this. 5 years later, did you know Dom would be making his way to the WWE?
I did not. I mean, I don't know what he's doing with his child when he's, well, you know what I mean? Like I didn't have any idea. What I love is that Shinsuke and Ray still doing it at a next level pace. You know what I mean? It's just so cool to see.
I was laughing the other night watching Shinsuke first doing his promo with the subtitles, which we've talked about on the show before. And I was sitting there doing the same thing going, well, this is awesome. It makes him look even scarier. It made him look more
cooler.
intimidating.
Yeah.
And I also giggled at how many times questions have been talking about, did he lose too early and it ruined his career? And did you think you were burying him like this? And
well, it just puts it in perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you are honest with yourself, which is the most important person in the world you should be honest with, you got to say, like, that's a dumb question, right? Did they beat him too early? Like, Shinsuke's got a couple of pay-per-views for the world title now. You know what I mean? Like, did we beat him too early? No, we're doing fine.
Don't read that.
Yeah, I'm not going to. Sorry.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever read in my life.
Now we have to read it. Our producer Dom, who is in a ball gag, naked right now, says my 70-year-old friend, casual fan in parentheses, says he loves Shinsuke Nakamura. Hey, and that's true. Like it's cool. He's cool. And you know what they did to make him cool? They just added some subtitles and shot it differently.
Yeah.
It did. Dom just said that did sound weird, but it's true.
I mean, I don't have a 70-year-old friend. Ryan James?
I don't either.
Okay. All right. Dom.
I have a 69.
We'll have a talk after the show, Dom.
I have a 69-year-old friend. Dom said, I work with him at Whole Foods. You know what?
This is not good for the show, but y'all need to know we have a private chat with our producer, and he's now defending his friendship with a 70-year-old man.
Who loves Shinsuke.
Shinsuke.
That's okay. Do your thing, buddy.
I saw a lot of things coming out of this episode. It wasn't that. It wasn't that at all. All right, keeping it going. Undertaker would cut a promo about his match against DX with his brother Kane at Crown Jewel.
Oh.
Did you talk with Sean in the build-up about him wrestling again?
No.
Okay.
And to be quite honest, that's not... Like, I might have said, you ready? You know what I mean? Like, something like that in passing. You ready for this? You know what I mean? Or something. And what are you going to do? Like, I would probably go like, hell no, I'm not ready, but we're going to do it anyway. But like, he's like, yeah, I'm ready. And that's that. You know what I mean? I'm not anyway. And maybe I should have. Maybe this would have helped me. I wouldn't have taken drugs. But I didn't go around going like, you know what? I'm not sure I'm going to be any good at this anymore. You know what I mean? Like you go like, hell yeah, it's going to be great. We'll see you out there. And then you just go, God, please let me live through this. And you know what I mean? So it's not something that we would chat about anyway, I don't think, is, are you going to be okay wrestling? Like I've been doing this WrestleMania main event level for 40 years now.
An anecdote, if you will. First of all, a different level, but one, because you talked about Sean being one of, if not the greatest you've ever seen do it in the ring. And so look, he knows his body better than anybody. He knows if he can do it, and
Yeah.
the whole deal. But it was funny. Funny anecdote. Our mutual friend Lash LaRue had his match back a few months ago.
Yeah.
And
he lost.
We did to Joey Janela. We all, of course, were before
Well,
that going. Hey man,
said,
you ready?
hey, I would have said like, I'm not losing. Like,
Wins and losses don't matter, dog.
I know, but when your match back, unless he's got like, I don't know. I would have beat the kid and then had the kid get heat on me if they're coming back with it.
Well, they need to. Put that out in the ether. They need to come back.
Well,
but
why? Joey Janela beat him. He got nothing to prove, dog.
Well, now he fights Florida Man or whatever, one of Joey's other. I don't know.
The guy Florida Man?
No, it's a different.
Oh.
That guy's 70. I don't want to talk about him.
So you do have a 70-year-old friend.
But why do we talk? Oh, Lash. I brought it up because we all said, hey, man, you ready? And he's like, yeah. And then the day after when we were all hanging out, he goes, to be honest, I didn't know if I was ready. But I'm not going to tell y'all that because I didn't know until I actually got in the ring and did stuff.
I would have blown up so bad.
That's what he was saying. He goes, I felt ready, but I could have just face first when I got out there.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell everybody beforehand. I don't know what I'm going to be like out there.
Yeah. Yeah, you get at least lie, and then you can go like, I don't know what happened. I just crapped my pants. Oops, I pooped my pants.
On the way to the ring. Had to waller in it a little bit.
I had the match, won, and then squatted in the turnbuckle. It was weird. Are we talking about anything right now?
I don't know.
Good.
We were talking about Undertaker and Shawn Michaels and ended up with Lash LaRue pooping himself. That is this show.
In a nutshell, and I'm not even doing the Austin Powers thing.
What?
So it's just like that. You know what I mean? Like it's just like that with dudes, and these dudes just happen to be the best in the biz. So it's not like anybody's gonna go, "Hey, you guys shouldn't be doing this. You're all too old." You go like, "Okay, let's see what they can do." And then guess what? They have match, and they have it like 4 old guys, and people go, "Oh my God!" And you're like, "Really? Did you not know they were? You've been watching them since you were 4."
Well,
you now pay for the cable bill in your home.
Rey Mysterio's not helping him out. I'll still being 70 out there and doing 619.
That's true, but he's the
That's why he's one of the best.
Yeah, that's why he's the exception to the rule.
Was there any talk about you being involved in the DX comeback, or did you not have any interest in that, or no?
No. It was. Look, I would have done whatever they wanted me to do, especially this early on. But or no, this ain't this early on. What year was this?
2018, 5 years ago.
So yeah, I was in the mix at that time. Yeah, I would have done whatever.
Did you pull out because you didn't want to go to Saudi Arabia?
No, okay. I would have done whatever they wanted me to do, but it was
just not brought up.
Yeah, it was not brought up.
Coming off Super Showdown, AJ Styles would defeat Samoa Joe, and Daniel Bryan would defeat The Miz to earn a shot. That match takes place on SmackDown, and AJ would retain by making Bryan submit to the calf crusher. But Joe would assault both afterwards, and the rematch was made for AJ to defend against Joe again. These three were some of the best wrestlers in the world at this point, right?
Yes.
So
100%. And this match was Daniel Bryan and AJ, right? That's what you said?
Yeah. Dude, well, AJ would defeat Samoa Joe, and then Daniel Bryan would defeat The Miz. So we got all of them. AJ would defend against Joe.
Okay. My
just
bad.
Incredible that all those guys.
Yeah, and you put Miz in there, I think.
Wow.
But to me, he's great. But the wrestlers wouldn't think that. You know what I mean? The hardcore people would go, "Oh my God, you said Miz in the same voice as."
I don't get it.
You know what I mean? Like he's great. But those other 3 guys are really good at wrestling, and so I understand why people love them and think they're great wrestlers and would not think The Miz is. I just tend to disagree with those people.
All right, Dog, let's get to the show. We're at Crown
What
Jewel.
show? Oh, Crown Jewel, 2018.
Jewel. Yes. It would feature the return of Hulk Hogan to the WWE after being taken out due to his comments years before. What did you think about having Hulk back in the fold for the company, Dog?
You know, it was risky, but I do believe the company and I think America too likes a second chance, likes a guy who apologizes and says, "Hey, I'm sorry. I you know what I mean? Things were different, and I don't talk like that. I don't think that way. I don't know. I feel like they gave him a second chance, and everybody was. I say everybody, and I don't have the black man's take on it, and I didn't ask him, and that's probably on me for not. But he came back and apologized, and everybody kind of went like, "Oh, okay," and so I don't know. I feel bad now. I'm talking about it, and it kind of hit me like, "Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about, Brian." I know my.
You didn't
take
hear
on
anything
it.
specific.
I didn't.
Okay.
But maybe I should have inquired. To had that conversation, you know what I mean? But again, he's such a big dude in the company. Bringing him back for this big show, I understand every side of it, and I guess that's where business takes over, and you go like, look, it's business, and that's what we're doing, and either I don't know how the other half lives. So, and I'm guilty of not knowing that. You know what I mean? I don't know what to say. It makes me feel bad when I realize it, though, that I'm speaking and I go like, I really don't know what I'm talking about, because the ones that would have offended the most, I didn't talk to about it, and that's on me.
All right, let's get into some actual wrestling here at Crown Jewel. The first match, Shinsuke pinned Rusev in 9:33 to retain the U.S. title. This was a pre-show match. It wasn't advertised until the end of the day of the show. Lots of Rusev Day chants. According to the Observer, Nakamura did a front face lock. Rusev did a cool spinning heel kick on his comeback and a high kick for a near fall. The crowd was into this by the end. Rusev had the accolade on in the middle of the ring. Nakamura escaped. Nakamura delivered a headbutt to the groin and the Kinshasa for the pin.
Ooh.
3 stars. How about that?
Three stars. What if they wrestled and hit him in the nads with his head? Wow, he did. He headbutted him in the scruples, and then bing, bang, boom.
3 stars on a dark match.
On a dark match.
That's pretty strong, brother.
Well, that's just my book, and thanks, Observer.
These two fit together strangely well.
No, they did. Their chemistry is good. But I'll tell you this much. For one thing, again, and I'll say this, and I've said it before, I'm not a huge fan not a fan of, don't have a lot of knowledge of Japanese wrestling. So I didn't get Shinsuke Nakamura when he first came here. I thought like, okay, Then I saw him have like a 25-minute match, and I forget who it was with, but it might have been Samoa Joe. It was on an NXT takeover. So Dom, you could play with your Googler and find out if that ever happened. But Shinsuke, and I saw him have a match, and I thought, I get it now. This dude's a master storyteller with physicality and with his energy, and like, I get it now, man. I had to witness it before I understood. But I forgot totally what we were talking about because I was just putting over Shinsuke
and Rusev working together.
Oh yeah,
so well.
yeah, and just the same way, Rusev had great chemistry and timing in the ring, so he adapted well with anybody too. So I think those two together is kind of like if you don't have a good match, I'd be ashamed. It was
kind of like the
Shinsuke.
Odd Couple, though.
It was Shinsuke versus Sami Zayn, Dom. Thank you. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke, take over Dallas, was the first match where I went like, okay, got it, I get it. Thank you guys for, you know what I mean. And
I can't believe he Googled that with all the Vaseline on his hands.
I know, me either.
So good.
This show, I tell you what. Anyway, Shinsuke, Rusev, awesome chemistry. Bow.
Dark match got a 3 stars. Guess what else though? That brings us to our
Herpes
5-star review of the week, son. That's where we take a review.
Oh, I do know, says Alec. I'm sorry, you do.
Angel X Santana. He said, I love you guys. This podcast is my drug and weed. Don't forget weed, LOL. 5 stars. Hey, well, look, if we're one of the drugs, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Bless his heart. He's just being honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just an honest kid, Angel.
Hey, look.
Is that the guy who works for the other company? Santana?
Now, I wish it was, but no, I don't think it is. That
Well,
dude's a great worker.
He's a fan. He's a friend of the show. I'm just kidding. I don't know if he is or not.
Angel pops into a bunch of our YTXs.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Well, thank you for that. And thanks for that 5-star review because,
Yeah.
look, all we're trying to do is have a good time, take your mind off of your worries for an hour or so, think about dingleberries and such, and we'll get back to you on the flip-flop. So it was Sami Zayn and Shinsuke at TakeOver Dallas that really turned my, just tickled my
I was thinking about
tank.
dingleberries the whole
Okay.
time. I played a prank on my niece one time where she was in that, where they do the, she
This
got
can't
the
go
oven.
well.
She got the oven.
Oh, yeah,
with
the easy bake
imaginary-
oven. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that. It was just the setup.
we're just
deal.
pretending, yeah.
And she came around one Christmas to all of us asking us.
Oh, and you said you wanted dingleberries. How old was she?
She was making pies for everybody in her imaginary setup. And
Yeah, how old was she?
Oh, probably 6. Yeah, 5.
Son of a bitch.
And I said, I'll take dingleberry pie. And she said,
Of course
I don't
you
know what that is. She said, we've got cherries and blueberries. And I was like, oh, you can find some dingleberries. And her mom's over there in the corner going, stomp it.
So who's her mom? Your sister?
My sister, and she's
Okay.
going, stomp it.
Okay, so she knows you at least.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And
I
but she
love
was
it.
trying to no-sell it.
Yeah, but also
Yeah.
put you in your place.
Because if she tells me to stop, then my niece
Then
knew
she
why.
knows. Like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, and so
I'm
she
going to
went-
make him a dingleberry pie.
Yeah, she did that. And it still got a pop. It was great. All right, let's actually talk wrestling. We're down to the actual first match on Crown Jewel. Rey Mysterio pinned Randy Orton in the first round of the World Cup tournament, 5 minutes and 25 seconds.
Hey.
Not much to it other than a perfectly timed spot where Mysterio came off the top rope on into an Orton drop kick. Mysterio rolled him up for the pin. After the match, Orton gave Mysterio an RKO, threw him to the floor, and dropped his chest on the Saudi Arabian announcer's table. The idea is that Orton hurt Mysterio, and Mysterio still has to come back for another match.
Ooh.
2 stars.
You know what? It takes a good man to beat Randy, but it don't take him longer than 5 minutes.
5:25, just barely.
Oh, just barely. Sorry.
I love not much to it other than a perfectly timed spot.
And awesomely put in creative to get the underdog babyface even more underdog as he climbs the impossible mountain before him. Jiminy Christmas, you guys.
Is there anything that goes into booking these first matches shorter, knowing? Okay.
No, it's not. It's just where you're at and what you're doing. And okay, we want to. I mean, you're going to back time for sure and leave the most. So it probably had 12 minutes. You know what I mean? And the match went 5. And
y'all are
everything
fine with
else
that.
around it was entrances and the aftermath beat down. You know what I mean? Like and that
It's
beat
all
down.
booked time together.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
got to time that into your television show that you're shooting, because whether you like it or not, that's what we're doing. Is we're putting out a show. You know what I mean? And
Right.
you just happen to punch each other in between commercials.
Second match, The Miz pinned Jeff Hardy in a World Cup match, 6:56. Hardy walked the barricade, came off with a clothesline on the floor. The finish saw Miz turn an attempt at a twist of fate into a skull-crushing finale. 2.25 stars.
Wow.
The
Miz,
Miz,
I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I was babysitting.
so did Meltzer. But
I was actually yawning at Meltzer's 2.5 stars.
The Miz can get over in any type of environment with anybody in with him.
I agree. And Hardy was just back too, it feels like, and was fresh. And so we're telling stories, man.
Seth Rollins pinned Bobby Lashley in a World Cup match, 5:25. Rollins hit 2 topes. Lashley
Ooh.
went for a spear, but Rollins leapfrogged him, and Lashley ran into the corner. Rollins used a curb stomp for the pin. Rollins ended up with a bloody mouth out of this. 2 stars. By the way, think about 5 years ago. It's crazy to see Lashley putting over Rollins in just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And now both of these guys have been on top of the world.
On top of the world and continue to be there, And so, I don't know. It just goes to show you don't take it so seriously, man. It's just wrestling television. It's not.
And also,
we're just having fun, man. You know what I mean? And it's a television show, so have some fun with it, would you?
It also, if it wasn't a World Cup match, could have been an awesome, longer, extended deal of.
Oh yeah, and
knowing
look,
what they are now, of course, Lashley and Rollins, man.
You gotta think. Look at the list of talent, the talent roster that's in this World Cup deal.
Incredible.
You know what I mean? It's an incredible talent roster.
Dolph Ziggler pinned Kurt Angle in a World Cup match in 8:15.
Yeah, that happened.
Angle used several German suplexes. Angle had the ankle lock on forever. Really, way too long for it to make sense, says Meltzer. Particularly since Ziggler wasn't selling it in the next match. Ziggler escaped, Angle charged and went into the post. Ziggler got the zigzag for the pin. 2.5 stars. This is one of the bigger last Kurt Angle matches, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't the Kurt of old at this point, but it's always great to have him.
Yeah, and that's what that's. So think about things like expectations. So if you're going home, I'm driving home, and I've had a long day, and I expect my wife to have everything ready, and I was going to get there, and I get there, and none of that has happened. Those expectations that I put on everybody around me has now caused a problem. And so that's my point with that is, don't put him up on a pedestal because he's Kurt Angle and literally stood on a pedestal with a broken friggin' neck with a gold medal around it. But understand he's also a human being who is now 20 years older than when he was Kurt Angle. He's not the Kurt Angle of old because now he's old. You know what I mean? Like it's and that's the same with Shawn and them. These guys are older now, and it's unfair for me to look at them and compare them to when they were 25 years younger. It's just not right. So then we go on and bury them, our guys who we've put up on this pedestal. I don't know. When you put people on pedestal, you find out, hey, we all got clay feet, bro, and we're all just a drop of water away from crumbling. So
yeah, the expectations are ruining it for yourself.
For me, for you,
just
for
go,
you,
hey,
the viewer.
And plus, it's a business, and guess what? The people of Saudi Arabia hadn't seen Kurt Angle. That's a name they get to see.
Yeah, they get to see him, and look, we do too.
Yeah.
And you get to see it, and I get it. He is older than he was back in the day. Like, no crap, you are too. You know what I mean? So do we come to your place of business and go, you don't write like you did 20 years ago, that's for sure. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
It's like Flair's last match.
And I know
I
that's
just got
human
to see
nature.
him, you know?
I know
just
that's
enjoy
human
getting
nature.
to watch it.
To I think it's human nature to judge, to be quite honest, which is the first bugaboo. You know what I mean? That's my bugaboo. But yeah, Ric Flair's last match. It was his last match, man. Even if he has another one, like, it was a spectacle. Just let the guy do what the guy wants.
We didn't think he was going 60-minute Broadway.
Yeah, and it's his life.
I wanted
that's
a
what he
woo
wants to do.
And a flop and a chop.
Yeah,
and a figure four.
I got color, and you know what I mean. Jeff was a great heel. Like, it was, just love it for what it is, and don't bring out the negatives. That's when I feel like you're just like, okay, whatever.
Next up, Sheamus and Cesaro retain the SmackDown tag titles over Big E and Kofi in 10 minutes and 28 seconds. Big Show and Xavier Woods were at ringside. Cesaro monkey flipped Kingston, who landed on his feet. Ooh. Kingston did a nice drop kick. Show was choking Kingston. Kingston sold until E's hot tag with his 3 belly-to-belly suplexes. E set up the big ending on Sheamus, but Show gave E a short right, which stunned him, and Sheamus did a weak-looking brogue kick for the pin, according to Meltzer. 2 3/4 stars. Here's one booking question from the 1,000-foot view and us not knowing what's going on. Seems weird not to have Usos on the show, but you can't go wrong when you've got Sheamus and Cesaro versus New Day.
Yeah, no, 100%. And look, I don't know the reason. There might be reasons that are unknown to you and I, why they weren't on the show. You know what I mean? So I don't really remember that being a negative, because I remember, like you said, Cesaro and them And New Day, dang, they've worked a million times.
Yeah.
They're going to kill it. You know what I mean? It's going to be awesome.
Next up, The Miz pinned Rey Mysterio in a World Cup semifinal match in 11 minutes and 7 seconds. Mysterio was selling that his ribs were hurt in the Orton match. He did a slide into a splash on the floor, but was back selling the ribs. Miz worked over his body with an abdominal stretch. Mysterio kicked out of the skull-crushing finale. Mysterio hit 619 and followed with a frog splash.
Damn,
but Miz got his knees up and cradled him for the pin. 3 stars. This is the finish of the World Cup.
3 stars.
Yeah. The finish of the World Cup we'll discuss in just a little bit. But you need a heel like Miz to be moving on, and then Mysterio is here. It did hurt him going, well, you say it hurt him. 5 years later, he's got, like you said,
he's a U.S. champ. He's on top of the world. Carlito's back. Like, it's, you know what I mean? The LWO is growing. I don't know.
Doesn't hurt anybody to lose the World Cup.
No, it doesn't hurt anybody to lose, except for Oodles and Doodles with Lash LaRue. He should have won that match.
Ziggler pinned Seth Rollins in a World Semifinal, 13 minutes and 5 seconds.
Say, what was that match again?
Ziggler pinned Seth Rollins.
Oh, gosh darn.
How about that?
That's a good one right there. How long they give him?
13 minutes.
Wow.
Drew McIntyre at ringside. Rollins got in McIntyre's face and dared him to punch him and get Ziggler qualified. Ziggler hit a DDT and began working over the neck. They traded near falls, doing all the cradle reversal spots that this crowd, quote, didn't care about. Rollins hit a knee for a near fall and then punched McIntyre. Rollins monkey flipped Ziggler over the top rope. Rollins used a superplex. Ziggler used a zigzag for near falls. The finish saw Rollins hit a tope on McIntyre. Rollins went to the top rope and McIntyre threw him off, and Ziggler hit the super kick for the pin. This was the best match on the show. 3.5 stars.
I don't doubt that a bit. I mean, those two guys, as soon as you reminded me that was the match, I was like, yeah, and they gave them 15 minutes and they went a little short. But that's a good one right there.
AJ Styles pinned Samoa Joe to keep the WWE title in 11 minutes and 9 seconds.
Speaking of good ones.
They came out hard-hitting like they were in a different company from everyone else. Styles hit a moonsault block off the apron. Joe hit a tope, knocking Styles onto the table. Something was going on in the crowd as nobody was paying attention to the match. I don't know if it was a fight or what, but they hurt their match. Really, the match was great, except I felt like it went way short for the style they were working. Styles did a moonsault into a reverse DDT for a near fall. Styles used a calf crutcher, and Joe made the ropes. Styles went for an O'Connor roll, and I've had that at the sushi restaurant before.
Yeah,
it's real good.
Yeah, they are good with that tempura.
Yeah, cream cheese. Yep. Joe got a choke. Styles used a Pele kick and the phenomenal forearm for the pin. 3.25 stars.
Wow.
Could you make these two have a bad match?
No. And look, they do work like they work for a different company. These two work different than a lot of people work. I'd say the Daniel Bryans of the world, the Bryan Danielsons, work the same way. A lot of people work like that nowadays. Look, when I first started, I wanted to be all stiff and everything too, but then when I got older, I was like, okay, the faker the better for me, please. I'd like to remember my address when I'm 50. And so it's just different strokes, but they work hard, man, and they're in there. And when I was, I don't know, not their age at this point, that's for sure. I was light as a feather by that time. But these guys just work hard, man, and they work at a different pace. I saw myself up close there, and it startled me.
Next up, Brock Lesnar pinned Braun Strowman in 3 minutes and 15 seconds to win the vacant Universal title.
Takes a good man to beat him. Don't take him
4
long.
minutes. Before the bell, Baron Corbin hit Strowman with a belt shot. Lesnar then immediately hit the F5, but Strowman kicked out. Strowman kicked out of 2 more F5s. Then Lesnar gave Strowman an F5 over the top rope. It was clear when Strowman was walking down the ramp that his knees were hurting, and a guy that size being thrown over the top rope and landing on his knees and chest, probably not a good thing. They teased Strowman being counted out, but he got in at 9. Lesnar hit his 5th F5 and got the pin. People could not believe Strowman was cleanly pinned that fast. 1 star. Okay.
Okay.
Hold on here. Let me read you what the Observer says. Then we'll talk about it.
Let me guess.
Okay.
Did they not like it?
Now they brought up reasons why it probably happened.
Okay, let's hear it.
Lesnar's latest short-term contract was to expire with Crown Jewel. Roman Reigns was planned to win the three-way match over Lesnar and Braun, presumably pinning Lesnar, and Lesnar was to leave for UFC, and probably the first of several major changes after Vince McMahon found out that Reigns was suffering from leukemia. He backed up the Brinks truck and signed Lesnar to a new deal and made the decision for him to beat Strowman in Saudi Arabia and regain the title. It is believed that the deal went down around 10/18. Terms of the deal have been kept secret. What is known is that this is another short-term deal. The deal goes through WrestleMania. How often Lesnar will be working on the new deal is unknown. Okay. So, Dogg.
I don't know. That's feasible. Everything they said sounds like it might have. I've never been in conversations that high. No matter how in I was or in the mix I was never in conversations about real top guys. That was business done above my head, and rightfully so. It's none of my business. But that makes sense. Like you know what I mean? Like you're thinking of big money with this new kid, and the new kid has to back out because you can't help it. You know what I mean? It's life, and so you got to do something here. And you know, whether you like it or not, Brock's money, and that's all there is to it. And even the people that hate him, respect his work, and if you don't, you're just a hater. You're just hating. Because I mean, he's really good at when he wants to make you believe somebody's whooping his ass. You know what I mean? Like it's 100% believable because of what he's doing, because of the moves he's making, because of the facials he's making. But and if you, like I said, if you don't think so, then you're wrong.
Next up, Shane
I don't
McMahon.
always think I'm right, but I'm right this time.
Shane McMahon replaced The Miz and pinned Dolph Ziggler to win the World Cup in 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Miz and Ziggler fought before the match started.
What went down here? Was somebody hurt?
Well, Miz and Ziggler fought before the match. In the brawl, Miz jumped off the apron and started selling his knee. The crowd was dead, didn't care about any of this. The referee ruled Miz couldn't continue and was about to award the match to Ziggler, but Shane McMahon was there and kept protesting the stoppage and said he'd gladly take Miz's place. Yeah. Shane, at 48, is way much more muscular than he was in his 20s and 30s. Corbin tripped Shane at the start of the match, and Ziggler hit a zigzag, but Shane kicked out. Shane monkey flipped Ziggler into the corner and hit the coast-to-coast drop kick for the pin. I just love the word of the day for the Observer is monkey flipped. He's
monkey
used
flip.
it 3 times in 3 different matches.
Me and Jimmy Hart wrote a song called Monkey Flip. I think it was Monkey Flipping, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was some splish splash and we be slipping, a hip toss and a monkey flipping. Something like, I'm not sure how it went exactly.
I'm going to tell you this, if you did, Jimmy Hart's got it on cassette somewhere and he'll gladly play it for you.
We didn't. I made that up.
This was clearly a setup for Shane McMahon heel turn, and it's a great way to do it right here, man.
Who said that? You?
Yeah.
Oh, I was about to say the Observer didn't say that, I'm sure.
No.
But
No. I'm all for any Shane McMahon I can get.
Yeah, and truth be told, so is most of the public, of the viewing public. You know what I mean? Shane's a megastar, and that's just the truth. He was like, I mean, it's on the same par as bringing back the Taker or bringing back Kane to do something. You know what I mean? Only Shane was in friggin' great shape and could probably outlast anybody in the ring. You know what I mean? Like he's just that kind of dude with that kind of. So anytime you can get him on the show, like it was a positive. Anytime I could get him on the show.
And next up, Shawn Michaels and Triple H beat Undertaker and Kane. Any guesses on how long?
In 7 minutes and 32 seconds.
27 minutes.
That's what
and
I said.
48 seconds.
27 minutes and 48.
Yep, you
that
had
was
it.
my second guess.
You nailed it.
Nailed it. Good stuff.
The crowd was into this for the star power more than anything else on the show.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny how that works?
That's weird.
But the match itself was bad, says the Observer. They were all much slower than everyone else. Sometimes slow is good because you make everything mean more and let it register. But this felt more like an old-timers match where they were slow due to age. Michaels did the Ray Stevens flip. Is that the streak guy? Look at that!
That's have you ever heard Guitar Zan by Ray Stevens? Oh my God, what a great song.
What's the one where the squirrel gets loose in church?
Oh yeah, that's what squirrel went berserk in a kind of church at a sleepy little town in Pascagoula.
The Ray Stevens flip.
Ray Stevens, I think that's the Flair flip. Or either maybe it's the up. Maybe it's the up. Look at that. There you go. Look at that. And he ain't wearing no clothes. And you said not only were they monkey flipping, but
the Ray Stevens flip.
But you said somebody's toupee. You said toupee like 30 times. And I thought Seth's hair was real the whole time. Here I am, looking like such a fool.
Egg on your face.
With egg. That's not egg.
It's scrambled eggs from your breakfast.
Hey.
You didn't eat breakfast.
I'm not going to bring that up. Anyway.
Michaels did the Ray Stevens flip. Got caught hanging upside down in the corner. Good gracious.
Oh, so is that I guess that's what I was thinking it was. You do the flip up into the buckle. I can't do it, but you do a flip up into the buckle and then flip back down into the ring. I think. I'm not sure
about that. But he got stuck.
He got stuck like Chuck, dog. Maybe that was the spot. Maybe that was the spot, Meltzer.
Yeah, Triple
H. You don't know.
Triple H took the race bump and tore his pec.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
The Harley race bump.
Yeah. Yeah, what'd you say?
What just says the race bump? I want to clear it up.
It is Harley race. Yeah.
Doesn't know what that is.
He takes a Caucasian bump.
There's
and
a few people that took a race bump in 2023.
Offensive, to be quite honest.
He tore his pec, dog.
Tore his pec. And because when you go, you got to hang on. It's like kind of a jerk, you know what I mean? Once you hit the oh dude, yeah, it was not pretty because then he's out. So that's it. Okay. Ooh, now I'm really
hang on, let's finish.
Now I'm really getting my gander up. That's another thing. Okay, go ahead and finish.
Undertaker was beating on Michaels for a long time. Undertaker did his old school rope walk with Michaels. Triple H and Michaels gave Kane a double suplex. Michaels did the elbow off the top rope for a near fall. Wow. Michaels went for the super kick with Kane and choke slammed him. Undertaker gave Michaels snake eyes on a running kick. Ooh. Michaels hit the super kick on Taker, who sat up. Kane choke slammed Triple H through a table. Kane's mask and wig fell off in the middle of them.
There's the tope. Now we got the toupee in there.
His tope and mask fell off. Michaels did a moonsault off the top rope. I've had sea salt, but I've never had moonsault. Is it healthier?
It's delicious, and it's like Himalayan sea salt a little bit.
It is. It's more rare, right?
It's got a little twist to it.
Michaels did a moonsault off the top rope on both of them, and they didn't catch him, and he crashed to the floor. Undertaker did a go-go plata. Boy, that sounds delicious. On Triple H.
I have no idea what that is.
A go-go plata?
Yeah.
I've had a to-go-go plata before from a restaurant.
I said, is it for here or to-go-go plata?
I said, do you have one of them to-go-go platas? You can bring me. I didn't finish this rice. A to-go-go plata. I'll take a go-go.
Anyway, I'm sorry I freaking asked. I'm going to have a cardiac event.
Taker.
That was hilarious.
Taker hit the go-go plata on Triple H. Where'd he get it? He just pulled it out and hit him and rice flew everywhere?
In them long jackets, you can hide all kind of stuff in there.
You can't finish your
Hey, for real, little quick story. They used to hide Undertaker under the ring a lot. You know what I mean? Like he would have to hide under there because the gong would hit and the lights would come on. He'd be standing there. So it would hide him under the ring. And dude, they used to have like lay out food under there for him. And I mean like,
full-blown meals.
Like good food. You know what I mean? And then Bray Wyatt started doing it when he was Bray, and like they were just putting sandwiches and stuff under there. I said, dude, you got to talk to them to get that Undertaker menu. Taker's getting steak.
Maybe that's what Taker whispered in his ear. He told him what to start ordering.
It's like, tell him you want the Vince special.
Let's see. He hit the go-go plot on Triple H. Michael super kicked Kane, who fell on Undertaker, which broke up the move. Michaels eye-raked Kane and super kicked Taker and Kane, leading to Triple H doing a terrible-looking pedigree on Kane for the pin. That's what Meltzer said, not me, sir.
I know.
1 3/4 star. All right, so here's what we got. We got the injury. We got some bad timing. We got Kane's mask falling off.
Yeah.
Are you sitting back on your iPad going, please let it in? What are you thinking?
Well, when you see the whole show and then you see them at the end and it's not the same speed and it's still like you're still seeing 4 legends in there doing a lot of the stuff they do and nothing happened and it was all fine. But a couple of things happened. You know what I mean? Like one.
By the way, his mask could have fell off at any year.
And has
in it. Yeah.
100 times.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's okay. Okay, so it's okay. Nobody knew that was not his black long hair. And anyway, so and then one of the main guys who's probably the most
cerebral.
Cerebral for sure guy in the ring has half a chest from you know what I mean? Like he literally has torn his pec. The same thing that everybody said Cody Rhodes was Attila the Hun and Jesus' son. And so same thing. But like, oh, they were slow. I can't believe it. It looked horrible. His pedigree was horrible. You know what? Suck it. Suck it. There. This is where suck it means something. Suck it, dude. And honestly, no, I don't even hope you tear your pec. I'm not going to say that. But I would like for you to tear your writing hand or have a serious case of carpal tunnel.
Sorry, his pedigree on the giant Kane with one arm didn't look up to par.
With one working
limb. Didn't live up to it.
I'll tell you what, didn't live up to your standards, sir. Well, you should have just videoed one of the birthday boys, Kenny Omega's matches from Japan. You could have got your...
Did you talk to him immediately after? Have you ever talked to him about it? Does it ever come up?
No.
Did you text him and go, hey, man, good to see you guys?
No, believe you me. Look, those guys, no good and no bad. Right. They invented the crap. You know what I mean? So we don't get to judge now and go like, oh, they weren't like the days of old. Yeah, no crap. No crap. And by the way, I don't know if you knew this.
That bar.
We get it. We know when we watched them at 10. I get it.
Speaking of the bar earlier in the show, they were the bar. They were the bar.
They were, and they said it.
Yeah.
And so it's the guy who sets the record for the high jump. Then he comes back 40 years later and he can't jump as high. Loser.
Michael Jordan can't dunk.
You know what I mean? Like, he's still the greatest player in the history of the world.
Yeah,
says Larry Bird. So, I don't know.
We've just got one question we want to get to. A wrestling historian hit us up.
Wait, so that was the main event, right, of the match?
That was it,
and Hunter hit Kane with the horrible-looking pedigree.
Yeah,
and,
with one arm.
And still, Meltzer and his whole team watched it. So thank you guys.
Yes.
Thank you guys for coming out.
A wrestling historian at Let's Go Back to WCW tweets at Brian R.D. James at the Casio Kid at You Didn't Know Pod. He said, do you remember any other opponents ever discussed for Shawn Michaels to work with afterwards? Had this match been a success? Thanks in advance, Dogg.
Oh, well, I just dream scenarios. You know what I mean? The question was who else would Shawn work with if this thing... Look, I still say this thing is a success. All the individuals were paid handsomely, and It was well viewed. It was, you know what I mean? Like from a business standpoint, all went very, very well on this evening. But the four guys, well, 3.5 because one had a torn pec, did a pretty decent job from what I saw. And so it's easy to stand and throw rocks.
Do you remember discussions about possible other matches for Sean?
So no, like I said, just dream scenarios. Like, look, everybody and their brother would love to see
Sean versus a lot of people.
Sean versus AJ. AJ Styles was thrown around a lot. Like, oh man, I would love to see that match. You know, and I would have loved to seen Brad versus Shawn Michaels. I think that, and I'm not even sure if they've ever worked, but I would have loved to see that match. And they just have two different styles. Brad worked more like AJ, like everything was snug and it looked real and everything was worked that way. And Shawn was more of a freestyle character who, for a babyface, was a dream come true. You know what I mean? Especially if he wanted to work with you, he could get you over better than anybody.
So no meetings where you went, hey, this is another match possible?
No.
Okay.
No, again, those conversations, even like as when I was in the meetings, were still held in other meetings, smaller meetings.
All right, Dog. Next week, we'll discuss Survivor Series 1998, the infamous tournament where Rock turned heel and became the corporate champion. You are working with the Headbangers. We'll get to talk about that.
All right.
The Nation breakup. Ooh. Oh, we'll talk about your scar. The Nation breakup, X-Pac, Dwayne Gill sighting, and more.
Oh, yeah.
All going on.
I'm working on a new book called Scars and Stripes.
Oh, Scars and Stripes.
Me and Toby Keith are writing it.
The eagle flies.
The eagle flies, and it'll poop in your eyes.
Before we get out of here, Dog, if your business targets 25 to 50-year-old men, no better place to advertise than right here with us on Oh You Didn't Know. You've heard us do ads for some of the same companies for years because it works.
That's why they do it.
And our super target audience, there's very little waste. Go to advertisewithdogg.com now and find out more about it. Look, if you have something you want to promote, a product, an event, a show, whatever it may be, and you're listening and you go, well, I want people that are just like me to listen to hear about this product.
You get the mountain critters to cut that promo, Dog. That's what you do.
How about Road Dogg talking about your event? What's better than that?
Didn't know? Your shirts are going to be printed and delivered on time, Jack. Sorry, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what promo code we were doing.
Speaking of shirts, these things are flying. How about our new shirt?
Whether they're flying?
Yeah, we don't have
the mountain critters.
We don't have shelves.
I like flapjack and fritters.
Mountain critters. His awful his house.
I'll tell you what. That gray hoodie is a swell looker.
It's a swell looker.
It is.
There might be more colors. I don't know. You'll have to go to boxofgimmicks.com.
Boxofgimmicks.com. You can find all the Mountain Critters swag there. You can also find some Dapper Dog and some Dom Ball Gags just coming in. So we're going to have a good time over there. Shinsuke and Sami Zayn in Dallas TakeOver.
By the way, right now, if your home's got a ball gag on you, you might want to call Conrad Thompson.
Because you can save with Conrad.
Yep, go to savewithconrad.com. Combine all your debts into one monthly payment. That's basically bringing it down to a ball gag.
Yeah,
you got a bunch of gags.
Get it? Bunch
of
them
down to one ball gag.
That way, there's anything accessible.
One monthly payment. So you don't have to keep up with have we paid this? Did you get that? Nope. Boom, down to one ball gag.
Yeah.
And it's all going down. Plus, you can skip 2 house payments. That means you can buy more ball gags.
Yeah. At least 2 more.
So go
mine are expensive.
You got the high end ones?
They're Lucchese.
Lucchese ball gags.
I'm not sure if that's true.
Go to savewithconrad.com. Also, like, subscribe, and leave a 5-star rating on whatever platform you are consuming this.
Do that. Like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Hey, speaking of, if you're still watching this, in the YouTube comments, let us know what one of your dream opponents for Shawn Michaels would be.
Oh, yeah. Shawn Michaels v.
Dream opponent.
I was.
Ooga Googa was pretty great. I would like to see him go.
Yeah, giggity giggity. I think Shawn Michaels versus Bryan Danielson was probably thrown around a lot.
Woo!
I think probably Kenneth Omega. I think the O is for Ophianus.
How about that?
Yeah.
You think it's O apostrophe mega like he's
he's Irish.
Scottish?
Yeah,
Irish? Okay.
Should be Scottish or Irish, one of the two. I'm not sure which motorcycle club he belongs to.
Well, leave your comment below. Who was one of your dream matches be for Mr. Shawn Michaels? Follow us on Twitter at Brian Artie James at the Casio Kid. The show is at You Didn't Know.
Oh,
Pod.
sorry, wrong show. Oh, you didn't know?
You can like and subscribe and turn on notifications at YouTube.
If you smell. Sorry.
.com/DOGG.
Hello,
Dog, that was a fun one,
ladies.
brother.
Sorry. That was a fun one. And it took me down memory lane. I remember it so well, but when I went into it, I was like, I have no idea what this show's about. Then I remember it like it was yesterday. 2018, bro, I was writing. So that's why Meltzer really hated it.
Well, we got to get out of here. I just got a text message from my wife. She brought me back a to-go-go plata from the Mexican restaurant full of enchiladas and chilitos. So I'm ready to go. If you don't like that and you didn't pop at that, we got 2 words for you.
Chill Ito. Oh, no. Suck it.
Baby, yeah.